If you're amidst major life challenges and shifts and your nervous system is on fire, that's not you, that's a trauma response. But there are some ways that you can access flow and ease amidst the challenges and the triggers. Hi, my name's Morgan, and I'm an intuitive holistic psychologist and coach, and I help intersectional sensitive people and empaths access real wellness and live an intention-filled, empowered life. Every month, I answer a question from my email subscribers about decolonized holistic mental health and therapy. So the question this month is, I'm in the middle of a major life shift, new job, new city, no local connections yet. What steps can I take to support my mental health in the process? So far, I'm really struggling. So I thought that this question this month is so serendipitous. Me, myself, I'm a survivor, and it's also Domestic Violence Survivors Month. So saying that me and my children are survivors of domestic violence and also CPTSD survivors. So as a result, I've been experiencing a lot of systemic discrimination in the schools and in the educational system, which is also pretty interesting because I'm a school psychologist as well and in the system myself. But saying that if you haven't seen me as much on social media, that's why. So actually, I've been experiencing the same thing, a lot of major shifts going on in my life pertaining to the systemic discrimination. And I think it may be because my solar return is coming or my birthday is coming. And it just seems like I'm having a slew of new major shifts in my life pertaining to my kids' school, where I'm living, even what's happening with my bank account. The timing of all these things are all aligning with my solar return or with my birthday, almost like I'm entering a new year or having death, transformation, and a rebirth all at the same time. So saying that, I definitely know what you mean, and I would love to answer this question and let you know what I personally do and also what you can do to feel better and inner flow and ease. Before I hop into that, make sure you wear purple to spread the word about domestic violence, and then also spread the word about CPTSD or complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Again, CPTSD isn't widely recognized in the medical community in the United States. Even those of us who've had repeated trauma, being marginalized, racism, poverty, childhood abuse, sexual abuse, repeated encounters are typically we're the ones. Not everybody develops CPTSD, but repeated trauma is one of the major features that leads to that. So want to give some awareness there. Okay, so if we're looking at this in terms of having major life shifts, sometimes these major life shifts are occurring with what's going to be happening with our soul. And again, we co-create with the universe, so this one feels a little bit tricky, particularly if we're not acquainted with our energy yet. Again, this video is targeted towards empaths and sensitives and those of us that feel and perceive energy more readily, other people's energy, and sometimes we're trying to distinguish our own energy from somebody else's. Saying that, knowing your own energy signature is important to know what your soul is doing and what you want deep down inside. So the first thing that we want to distinguish or want to know to be able to answer this question is we want to be able to get in contact with our energy. So for those of us that don't know what that feels like, it's usually when we're alone, when we're in the forest, when we're in the woods, when we're by the ocean and no one else is around us, and we can feel and sense and perceive that small voice. So what are we feeling deep down inside? Not necessarily societal's expectations and what we should be doing, not necessarily the intrusive thoughts that are coming to our mind, but when it's quiet and still, what are we deep down inside yearning? So again, usually it's in those moments when we're alone, and also that's why nature is so sacred. But if we can hear ourselves in those moments, that's going to give you the key to know, oh, what is happening to me? Is that a part of kind of like my soul evolution? Even though I'm experiencing karma, is this kind of the path that I should be on? Or is this a result of other situations and I really need to be turning my life around? Either way, whatever we're hearing, we want to align with what we hear deep down inside. So if you're experiencing a lot of major life shifts because perhaps your health is saying this is not what we should be doing, we need to turn around. And sometimes that happens because, again, we're used to putting other people's needs before our own. So if life seems to be falling down because of that, then we want to listen to what that message is. And if this is something that's in your life because karma, and I'm one of these people, karma is a part of your life. And so the things keep happening. Well, then in some ways we're going to rest. We're going to be looking for moments to rest. But knowing what we are hearing deep down inside is major to being able to enter our energy and have access to flow and ease despite the challenges that we have going on. The next step that I would urge you to look at, and again, this is more on the spiritual end, more on the holistic end, the spiritual end for sure, a little bit non-traditional is, and this is what I personally do. So you don't have to do this, but this is what I personally do. People are like, what do you do, Morgan? Why do you still look vibrant amidst the systemic discrimination that you're feeling and the squeeze that you have with your kids? Well, this is what I do. So I bring astrology into therapy sometimes. I know some people are uncomfortable. Some people have had negative experiences with that. It's the same way how some people have had negative experiences with church or religion. And I'm also one of those people too. However, I personally like to use astrology. And the reason that I do is because as an empath, I'm feeling everybody's energy. And I had to learn what my own energy was in and of myself, even though I'm in a location that's hard for me energy wise. And so your chart, your astrology chart, can let you know what energy you should be embodying in a healthier state. So it doesn't mean we still have our ups and downs, we're still going to have them, but it's going to let you know, hey, this kind of energy, whatever your rising sign, it's close to your ascendant, that's the energy you should be embodying. I also like to look at my North Node. So for me, my North Node is in Gemini. So speaking up is something that I've always had to do. Actually, for me, it's a North Node in Gemini and it's conjunct my Chiron. So me speaking up about the things that have happened to me in a not so great way, the challenges that I've experienced in terms of my trauma is something that I need to speak about or where my life is going. So I always look at my ascendant, which would be my rising sign. I look at what's around that ascendant line in astrology. So that's about like 5 to 10 degrees of that ascendant line and what is in my first house. So you want to be embodying those things. And so you can just start off with your tropical Western chart, but there are many different astrology charts that you can look at so you know the combination of your energy. And doing that in and of itself should give you a bit more flow and ease. So that, looking at the North Node, embodying that. And another secret tip is looking at your sixth house. Looking at your sixth house is going to let you know where your enemies are doing and how to approach them. So if you're experiencing a lot of major life shifts because you're having a lot of adversarial energy, that could be something else too that you can check out. So one, we want to be listening to our inner guidance. We want to be listening to our divinity. Are the challenges a result of I'm on my path, or are the challenges a result of I'm not on my path and I need to reverse course and honor my health? Two, we want to also embody our energy. If you don't know what that is, you can look at our cheat sheet, which is, for me personally, I look at my astrology chart. The third thing that I would say if I, hadn't met this person would be I would really be looking at my subconscious thoughts. So as a sensitive person, as an empath, again, there's different kinds of sensitive people and there's different kinds of empaths. And then we're in different stations in terms of our health. But if you know what the intrusive thoughts that are coming up, I would be looking at them. I would be holding them in love and in healing. And the key to subbing them out or working through those thoughts is to get in contact with your inner self. What does your inner self say about those situations? And that's where you can make the substitution. Again, the answers that are going to resonate with you deeply in truth are encoded in your inner self. And so anything that needs to heal also needs to detox. It's normal to be having these thoughts. Again, instead of having an environment of hostility that we're creating for ourselves, we want to create an environment of love and safety and acceptance and understand this is a part of healing. As they come up, we want to enter softness, nervous system regulation, and sub those thoughts out when you feel like you can work on them and you would get those substitutions from your inner self. So I knew I threw a lot at you, but it 100% should help. Let me throw in something else. Maybe probably the fourth one I would do that would be a must would be nervous system regulation. So that is just retraining your nervous system. So I'm doing some of it now. Retraining your nervous system to inner calm and inner safety. If you do those 4 things, you should be set. Life is still happening, but so is the universe. I hope that helps you feel more grounded in your body. Know that it's more than what you're physically seeing, but we live life in energy anyway. That's something that you know, but hopefully that will give you some surety as you move forward and knowing how to navigate life's challenges and also regulate your nervous system. If you're going through your own major life shifts in your life and you need guidance, I have services that are custom made for intersectional sensitive people and empaths. You can go ahead and visit my website to check out intuitive healing sessions or integrative holistic therapy with concierge service. I'd be more than happy to help you. So here's to you and here's to your health, because you living in this world is everything and your vibrance is an antidote to erasure. Your health is activism. Hope to hear from you soon.